ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. Welcome to Beyond Borders. Our first episode is gonna be freedom without discipline. It's not freedom, it's chaos. So it's Beyond Borders Foundations Before Freedom series. This series is gonna talk about. And let me say something people are scared to say. Most people don't want freedom. They want permission without consequences. But they do scream, my rights, my rights. But they do run from responsibility. They shout freedom. They always shouting, I want freedom, we want freedom. But they reject discipline, restraint, and self-control. And contradiction is why societies collapse. So we're going to talk about that. Freedom without discipline is not liberation, it's a decay. You must understand this. Every fallen civilization died this way. Not from enemies outside, but from the rot inside, how they brought it inside. And today's world is drowning in rot. That's the biggest lie in the Mormon society. They tell you this. You deserve freedom without limits. Oh, well, that's a lie, man. Think about that. No warrior culture ever believed that. No spiritually rooted civilizations believe that. No nation that survived believed that. So what's going on? Freedom has always been earned through. You got to understand this. You must have discipline, moral restraint, personal accountability. And if you take those things away, if you do not have those things in the free world, guess what it does? The freedom turns into addiction, entitlement, victimhood, and chaos. Look around. People are free but miserable, free but weak. But they're free but they're dependent. That's not freedom. That's enslavement disguised as a choice. So I'm going to tell you an uncomfortable truth. The moment society demands rights without responsibility, it signs its own death certificate. Remember that. Rights are not natural by default. They are maintained by the people who control themselves. You must have that. People must have that control. When people lose self-control, that's when the state grows. The surveillance increases, laws multiply, and the freedom shrinks. Why? That's what we're going to ask. We always ask why. Because undisciplined people require control. If you can't govern yourself, well, someone else will govern you. And that, you must understand, they won't be kind. Empires, you got to understand this. Empires don't fall when armies invade. They fall when families collapse. Faith is mocked. Discipline is labeled as oppression. Masculinity is shammed. Self-restraint is called backward. Come on. So there's a saying, Rome didn't fall because of barbarians. It fell because Romans stopped being Romans. Today, isn't the same pattern? Just the different costumes. Come on. When morality dies, law replaces it. When the law replaces morality, tyranny follows. That's not opinion. That's a historical thing. That's the law. That's a historical law. Come on, look at it. And in Sikhi never taught freedom without discipline. Never. Sikh is not free because the state allows it. No, Sikh is free because Sikhs have Nam, Rahat, the big accountability. That's the biggest thing. Nam is spirituality, meditation. Rahat is staying in discipline. Vivek is where you stay, you know what, you keep yourself accountable. So accountability is everything. That's why Sikhs were dangerous to empires. That's why. Because you can't control a person that controls himself, that knows everything. Khalsa is a discipline. And Khalsa's discipline wasn't just a symbolic thing, it was anti-tyranny architecture. It was a build. Because Khalsa had no addictions, no cowardness, and they did not compromise their morals. And that's why the empires try to crush it. And we have to be honest, man. Modern freedom feels like what? Let me tell you what it looks like. What do we have right now? Porn addiction, that slavery, food addiction, dopamine dependency, fear to speak the truth. That's not, come on, it's not freedom. They're chemically controlling you. People are today managed, not ruled. They're distracted, not liberated. They call it progress, but it's not. It's a regression. You're going backwards. Look at where were you in 50 years? Where are you at now? That's why disciplined man is harder to manipulate. That's why your discipline is attacked. That's why we say that the discipline is attacked. People hate big. People hate discipline. You know why? Because it exposes a weakness. Discipline requires saying no, delaying pleasure, standing alone, accepting pain. Most people want comfort, not truth, approval, not strength. Come on. That's why the truth I'm about to say, it does hate. It sounds like hate. Because guess what? The lies are easier to swallow. So I'm going to tell you this. This is the truth no one wants to hear. A nation cannot be free if its people are weak. Society cannot be sovereign if its people are undisciplined. And people who abandon moral orders will always beg for change later. That's the thing. Freedom is not given, it's forged. And discipline is the fire. And I'm gonna tell you this: if this makes somebody uncomfortable, I say it's good because it means I reached something. Something is out there. Someone's really understanding. So this is the Beyond Borders first episode. And I'm gonna tell you this: this series just started. It has only started. More to come.